Namaste and hearty welcome to all of you to this second session of Prembodh Radiant Relationships. Thank you very much for joining this session. All are welcome. We will start the session with prayers by Guruma.
Namaste and very hearty welcome to all of you. This is our second meeting of Prembodh. Amazing message of what really love means is coming from Sri Mahavatar Babaji, and we all are fortunate to be the recipient of this beautiful knowledge. The world badly needs love now. The scenario which is there all around demands that everyone must know what really love means. And if we get into that state, everything will appear to be different. All the conflicts inside resolved, all the conflicts wherever we are, for us, understood and resolved. Physically, they may not be. But that is why this knowledge is very important. We will pray to Babaji, invite His grace, and then get into the session as usual. Whatever chaotic situation from there you might have come, but come back into this very moment and turn within. Here and now, and look within. As you inhale, go to the top of the head and see what is happening inside. This will instantly connect you to the Masters. Inhale, go to the top of the head and get rooted into the heart. Heart is the seat of love and gratitude. Let us receive the blessings by connecting to the field of gratitude. We will chant Om 3 times. Take a deep, relaxed breath. Moksha Guru, Param Puja, Sri Mahavatar Babaji, and all the masters of Guru Mandala. Let us bow down to them and offer these prayers of Guru Vandana at their lotus feet. Om Akhandamandalaakaram Vyaptam Yena Characharam Tatpadam Darshitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Ajnanatimirandhasya ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः. गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णु गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुर्साक्षात् परब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः ॐ श्री सद्गुरवे नमः So, praying to the masters, receiving their blessings, let us now enter into the session. Last session was the first session where we saw that when this knowledge of Prema Marg had come. Prema Marga has three components. One was Prem Kriya, which we all learned. That was for preparing the energy for the right kind of state through which we can enter into the state of love. So if the energy is less, we get pulled into the emotional dramas, we get pulled into the lower energy conversations or communications, and that is what spoils the whole show. If our energy is settled within and we are in the field of oneness, then we can enter into the right kind of communication, and that is what settles everything that is around. So the first thing is Prem Kriya. You come into the state of energy, you come into the vibrancy which will allow you to enter into Prema Dhyana. Prema Dhyana is loving attention. The second component is Prem Dhyana. It's the loving attention. It's not just at the lip service, oh, I love you. It's you feel that from the heart, that oneness, and inside out, towards yourself also, you are loving, towards others also, you are loving. Your every cell is vibrating in that state of love. That is that state of oneness and state of love. So that happens when we enter into Prem Dhyan. So with Prem Kriya, enough of prana comes, that prana settles in Prema Dhyana with loving attention. Every cell starts aligning to that force of loving attention, and we come to Prem Dhyana. Now, why to get into the Dhyana? Dhyana, Dhyana, Dhi means Pragya, and Yana means the vehicle. So when we enter into the right kind of state, it gives us the wisdom, the bodh. So that is how when we enter into Prem Dhyan, that will give us Prem Bodh. With loving attention at whatever we are looking, what is the cause because of which that behavior is coming? What is the cause because of which that situation is? So that cause we will start understanding cause behind. Slowly we will go to the cause behind the cause, which is the Karunya Lakshmi. Karana. Some behavior has some reason behind it, or some situation why it has arisen. There is a reason behind it. There is a cause behind it. If we understand the cause, we come into the state, oh, it's so, that is why it has happened. So that is how slowly going behind the cause of the cause, ultimately we reach to the state of causeless cause, which is called as Karunya Lakshmi in all the scriptures. Beautiful word. We rarely understand this. Karana, the one who understands the Karana, which is just for the joy the whole creation has come. So we go to that state, and that is what will bring around the real Prema Avastha. And that is why now we all are understanding these three steps. Two steps most of you have gone through, so you all know. Those who have not gone, this recording of the earlier session is given, and on the LMS all these things will be available, so you can go and learn from there. So now today's session, last time we had posted the scale of relationship. Now there was some misunderstanding that it is only for the husband wife relationship. Oh no, this can be, that scale can be applicable to any relationship, because those are the fundamental components. If those fundamental components are taken care of, then those components will contribute to reaching to this state very easily. That understanding can develop easily. That is why this scale was posted. And since these lectures are free, don't take them for granted. Work on yourself. This knowledge is invaluable, and that is why this is coming in these sessions to us. So when it is coming, we will commit ourselves to work on our own selves very seriously. So don't take them for granted. Work seriously. The insights which will be revealed to you will be amazing, because we never look at ourselves, so seriously. We don't look at ourselves, and the moment we start looking at ourselves, the things start changing. So this is the first step of looking at ourselves and starting the journey, which is inward journey, which will take us to the right path, which is the path of prema. Prema gali ati sakari te मैं दो ना समाए. हरि है तो मैं नहीं, और मैं हूं तो हरि नहीं. तो हरि को लाने का ये मार्ग है, जिसमें हम चल रहे हैं. बड़े प्यार से चलेंगे. गुरुजी आगे की बातें बताएंगे. वो दो, वट एवर 10 points were given, there was some confusion, so Guruji will explain all those 10 points, and apart from that, some essential components which are necessary for vibrant relationship. दिन काट रहे हैं, this should not be the state. It should be like vibrant. You should be enjoying with yourself and with everybody, whether you are with somebody or not. You are simply into that state where you are in that vibrant relationship mode. How to get into it? Let's get into that journey now. I hope everybody is ready enthusiastically to get into this state. So we welcome Guruji with that enthusiasm and with that love. We all embark on this journey together. Sahana bhavatu, sahana bhavatu. So we all will embark on this journey together. We welcome Guruji for proceeding on in this session further.
Namaste and very hearty welcome to all of you to this second session of Prembodh. Last time we talked about two things, and we will continue from there. First is the concept of fire and smoke. So those who have seen the video, very beautiful pictures are also given in the edited video, very nicely done. Those videos you can share with your friends, okay? And it can save somebody's life, somebody's marriage, somebody's relationships. The fire and smoke principle we'll discuss again to get into the right frame of mind, and the scale of the health of relationship, how to quantify the relationship. संबंध को नापना कैसे, ये तो कोई नहीं जानता. Okay, but one of my expertise is creating the scales. So we can do the measurement, we can do the quantification of the relationship. Why we need to do that? Anything can be quantified, that can be improved, and that improvements can be seen, it can be proved. That is the science. So we'll go in a scientific manner so that communication can happen. Prembodh was transferred to me from Babaji vibrationally. It's extremely difficult for me to put it into the words, because the knowledge given was beyond the words. It was received in vibrational format. How do I communicate to you? Big issue there. So I will follow my scientific methodology, and in between the insights of prembodh will come, and you will receive the knowledge slowly, slowly. It take time. That's why it's a long series, and we are guarding it in a proper manner so that the knowledge is documented in a proper manner, in a meaningful manner. Everybody should understand. See, knowledge given by Babaji is so very high, so very intense, so very high vibrational thing that it just cannot come in a big dose. Receiving is difficult. It's a vibrational knowledge. So slowly, slowly, as we talk about some basic things, some scientific parameters, something about relationships, in between the insights of the Prem Marg will keep coming. And those will be getting recorded separately so that the whole knowledge comes out in a proper format. Vibrations will receive the words with the grace of the Master. I personally feel incapable of sharing those things. But as the things progress further, with the grace of the Master, things will start coming. Okay. So first about the fire and smoke principle. धुएं है तो आग होगी, आग है तो धुएं होंगे, आग और धुआं सेपरेट नहीं होता है, कम ज्यादा होता है लेकिन सेपरेट नहीं होता. That's the principle. Which means what? There is something called fire in the relationship, and there is something called smoke. So when people discuss, I'm happy or I'm unhappy or I'm partially happy or partially unhappy, whatever the state of the relationship may be, people focus onto the smoke aspect. Those are the symptoms. While in reality, there are some basic parameters which is the real fire. So, if we focus on the fire and not on the smoke, we will understand prembodh properly in the context of radiant relationships. That's a very important criteria. So avoid the smoke and look at the fire. That is the right approach. What does it mean? Every relationship to be successful, there are some fundamental criteria. If those fundamental criteria are taken care, the symptoms do not matter, or symptoms will not even arise. Otherwise, we will get stuck with the symptoms. And there are no solutions for the symptoms. The solutions are for the basics of the relationships, and that is called the fire, not the smoke. So we go away from the solutions because we get stuck with the smoke. The smoke is the symptom. I gave you the example last time. Today I was calculating how many times I have done couple counseling. Okay, last time as such, I got at least 50 actual recorded case studies. Even before our daughter Kalyani was born, I had done few couple counseling. Today Kalyani is 34 years, which means I'm doing couple counseling for last 35 years. Time goes so fast, 35 years. And more than 1200 case studies are recorded. That's the amount of work that has happened. We don't realize, but every day somebody is coming, something is happening. Just because I have the record, so I know, otherwise nobody will know what is the amount of work that has happened. 1200, it's a good number. Recorded. Unrecorded, there may be much more, maybe more than 2000. Okay. So many of you know me because you met me personally for certain issues. You came to learn few things. Like that, thousands of people have come. The essence of all that I'm going to give you in this. Very important knowledge. So focus on the fire, not on the smoke. Avoid the smoke. Okay, that is the first insight of radiant relationship. Second thing, check the relationship on the proper criteria. See why this is important. Okay. There are very few people who are scientific minded and who know how to do the measurement of the health of the relationship. So I created the relationship scale. Today I will modify, make it even better. Once we know the measurement and we define what is the health, say on the scale of 0 to 100, somebody say, okay, health of the relationship is 60. For somebody it is 75, somebody it is 90. So quantification matters. If it is 60, then next thing you should say, okay, from 60 to 100, how do I move? Even if you don't reach 100, even if you reach 90, 30 points corrections has happened, which means you have improved your relationship, which can be quantified, it can be proved. That is why I give you the exercise of the 10 points. You give the marks to yourself. 0 is the lowest, 10 is the highest. It's a 10 by 10 matrix, so maximum you can have is 100 marks. But nobody is perfect, so nobody can have 100 marks. Right? So if you do the exercise in a proper manner, so whatever 35 marks, 40 marks, 50 marks, whatever comes to you, it is your perception and it's very subjective. It's not objective. That has to be understood. So even though it is subjective, relatively, if you are moving from 40 to 80, I think that's a huge improvement. Even though it's subjective, 40 to 80 is a huge improvement. See, husband and wife doing the exercise for husband-wife relationship. Husband may give himself 40 marks, husband's perception. Okay. Wife may give 60 marks, wife's perception. And this is fine. Everybody's perception is different. So marking will be different. With your perception, whatever it is, how much you are moving further over the period of time, that is what is the improvement of the relationship. It is quantifiable, it is provable. And that's exactly the experiments which we are going to do because this knowledge is so fantastic. I'm sure everybody will be able to improve the relationship no matter where you are. If you are at 90 level, you will go to 95, 99. If you are at 20, you will go to 50, 60, 70, whatever possible. That honesty has to be there in understanding and application. If that is assured by you, the results are guaranteed because it's a scientific process. It's measurable, it's quantifiable, it's provable. All right. That's why we are going to use the scale. As we use the scale and move further, insights of the prembodh will come on the way and it's getting recorded. So we'll be able to segregate the knowledge of the prembodh in a separate manner. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I have improved the scale further. Instead of 10 points, I have made it at 15 points. So I'm going to discuss all those 15 points systematically. And on the way, I'll also share the prembodh insights. You just listen, understand. After the meeting ends, you do the exercise again. I'm going to make a 15-point criteria, which we will understand now, and repost the exercise. Then you do it on a 15 point. If you have done it on 10 point, that's also good. Those 10s are same. 10 points are the same. I've added 5 more points for everybody to understand. Okay. Because I know that everybody in this group is not scientific minded person. Some people do not understand the science. It's okay. I'll make it very, very simple. But if you understand the science, you are walking on a solid footing because quantification is there, improvements are there, and proof is there. Nobody can miss it. That is the beauty of the scientific process. That's why quantification is so very important. All right. So what I'll do, my modified things, I'm going to post it onto the groups, your WhatsApp group. One for the couples, one for the individuals. Both the places I'm sharing this document and we will discuss so that you don't have to write. You just listen and understand. So the document is titled as Healthy Relationships Criteria. Okay, this is the new scale. It's copyrighted. Why copyrighted? Because my scales are used by many scientists. Scales are important. They are respected worldwide. Very few people in the world know how to create the scales. It's not easy, my dear friends, because something which cannot be measured, you are trying to measure. Okay. So the table I will create on 15 counts, I will post it again. The table of 10 count that I have posted is valid. You can do on the 10 points also, or you can create the table with these 15 points. No issues. Okay. So we are going to discuss. You don't have to write because I have already punched it into computer and posted it on the groups. Make it easy for you. First point, how to understand the health of the relationship. So the first point says stable and balanced relationship, no emotional dramas. See, when a child throws the tantrum, you know what the tantrum is. That's kind of an emotional drama. And many people, they do not become mature. So that child throws the tantrum, that tantrum is continued in some form of emotional drama and continues until the person dies because there is no emotional maturity, there is no spiritual maturity, and that is why emotional dramas in any relationship and every relationship are very common. It is the emotional drama that can shake up the confidence in the relationships, and the health of the relationship will reduce in that proportion. So what is a healthy relationship? Healthy relationship is very stable, very balanced, and minimum emotional drama or no emotional drama. If there is no emotional drama, that is the great. But I think that is absolutely 100% no emotional drama may not be possible. We are all human beings. So some drama will be there in the life, right? But a balanced relationship will have no emotional drama. Emotional drama comes from emotional immaturity. So those who are emotionally mature, those who are spiritually mature, those relationships, emotional dramas will be minimum. And those people who are immature, their emotional drama will be maximum. Okay. So how healthy is your relationship? Consider any relationship. 0 is the lowest mark, 10 is the highest mark. If absolutely no emotional drama, 10 marks. Okay. One emotional drama every day, 0 marks. Now you know in between. If every day there is emotional drama, give yourself a 0 mark because you have not understood the whole thing. Everybody understood the whole thing, how to do the exercise. Once in a week, some emotional drama is there. 50%, 60%, whatever you feel right. Your choice, your perception. Next thing, mutual respect for individuality and boundaries. Now you see, genuinely good relationship between two mature persons, both are individuals, your personality. The respect for the individuality has to be there, which means what? I accept you the way you are. And people set their boundaries. Now, this concept is not very popular in India, but if you look in US, in Australia, many countries, this is a very powerful concept. People practice, everybody practices. So, any relationship, you have to define your boundaries. Okay. And those boundaries are to be respected. Say, for example, you are a working person. Let me give you a very typical example. IT people. Husband is working in IT company, wife is working also in IT company. Both are working from home. That was the scenario during the COVID. Okay. Now, sometimes the pressure of the work is very high, very normal. Okay. Boundary is when I'm in the meeting online or on the video call, do not disturb me. Necessary boundary because your job matters. This boundary has to be respected. Similarly, psychologically, there are certain things. Okay. Everybody has a upbringing. The culture of upbringing is different. See, husband is brought up in a different way, wife is brought up in a different way. Some cultural differences will be there. Let me give you an example. Some of the early days recordings or case studies I got, very interesting example I got. I'll share the example with due respect to the privacy of the people, but that's a must in this subject. A Maharashtrian lady married to a boy from Lucknow. Now, you know the culture of Lucknow, you know the culture of Maharashtra. Maharashtrian girl was talking on the phone to her mama. Mama, तू काय करतोस? कधी येणार? And Lucknowi gentleman listening, oh my God, mama को तू करके बुलाती? In Lucknow, it's not allowed. You have to be very respectful with the elderly people. Maharashtrian girl says, when you are so close to somebody, only then you are allowed to say tu. I love him so much. That's why. Now, these cultures do not match. Country wise, also there are cultures, community wise, also cultures, language wise, there are cultures, religion wise, there are cultures. Cultural differences will be there. And today, these international marriages are happening, intercaste marriages are happening, interreligious marriage are happening. So, cultural differences will be there. Those are the boundaries that we are talking about. Mature couples learn to respect each other's boundary. That is the point. Or you have to define your boundaries. Okay? In bedroom, that's also necessary. Some youngsters are very adventurous. So, it has to be communicated to the partner, and the partner's boundaries are to be respected. This is also part of relationship, especially the newly married couples. Or if you are doing the dating, you are seriously interested, you are still not married. Both persons have to clearly define their boundaries, what you should do, what you should not do. And respecting that boundary is part of the healthy relationship. Now, if you don't know your boundaries, and if you have not defined your boundaries, then you need to look into it. Because other person stepping over to your boundaries will create irritations in you. See, I defined the boundary right in the beginning. Please do not unmute. Do not ask in between because we are talking a serious subject. If you have a question, put it into chat box. Guaranteedly, I'll answer. This is called assertively, lovingly stating your boundary. And the other person has to learn to respect the boundary because it is necessary for the workable relationship, for the good relationship. These are just the examples. Every relationship will have to define its own boundaries, and those boundaries need to be respected. This is maturity. If we do that, relationship will improve guaranteedly. Irritations will be minimum. Understanding will be maximum. Enjoyment will be good. Okay. Undue emotional dramas will not be there. You will have a lot of peace, a lot of joy. You will grow into very balanced relationship, very stable relationship. And that relationship will last with a lot of joy. So, my dear friend, defining your boundaries and respecting the boundaries, that is the second point. All right. I'm clarifying. Still something is not clear. You can punch the question in the chat box, but punch in a proper manner. Your question should be very well defined and punch it properly. Then I will answer. So follow the discipline. Third thing, effective communication. Disagreements are resolved constructively without blame or resentment. Communication is the key to good relationship. Every relationship, because the cultural differences are there, upbringing is different. No two persons can have the same thinking pattern. Okay. Male brain is wired differently. Female brain is wired differently. Wiring, hardware wiring is different. Conflict in man-woman relationships are absolutely there. Take it for granted. 100% it will be there. 100%. Because men and women, the brains are wired in a different manner. Okay. 100% it will be there. Take it for granted. But communication is the key. If the respect is there, the boundaries are defined, and we communicate in a mature manner, we sit together and talk it over without blaming each other or resentment. That is called healthy communication. And healthy communication is the key to healthy relationship. See, today 90% of the couples divorce because of sexual non-compatibility. My own data. 90% couples divorce because of sexual non-compatibility. Intimate communication is a subject that needs to be learned. Husband-wife communication. Nobody's teaching how to communicate in bedroom properly. Now, these are the fundamental issues of relationship that need to be learned. Most of the people are facing the issues. So communication is a subject which has a lot of depth. How to communicate in a proper manner. Lots of input are necessary because we do not learn proper communication in schools and colleges. We are not taught. When we talk with loving assertiveness, that is the word from the prembodh. What is loving assertiveness? So if you understand prembodh, all other things will become immaterial. Immediate understanding, high level insights. So people who communicate with loving assertiveness. Let's understand what is this thing. Those who have learned Prem Dhyan If you can get into that loving attention, okay, your consciousness will shift. If you are into loving attention 24 by 7, your consciousness will shift. As a natural byproduct, what will emerge is called loving assertiveness in your behavior. You will not be aggressive, you will not be submissive, you will be assertive, you will respect the boundaries, but you will be still loving. That is spiritual maturity in the relationship. So, spiritually mature people will communicate in a different manner. Immature people will fight over small, small things. That is immaturity of the relationship. Spiritually mature people will take the relationship to an extraordinary level of joy, bliss, ecstasy, togetherness. That's possible. Absolutely fantastic relationships are possible. In all kinds of relationships, not only husband and wife. But we must understand how to operate from loving attention, how to communicate with loving assertiveness, how to address to the discomfort that is there, how to address to the conflict that may arise because of the cultural issues or a mismatch of thinking pattern, mismatch of opinion. Very common. It has to be there. But there should be right approach, which is called loving assertiveness, communicate in a way respecting the boundaries and solve the issues with communication. Now you see, if there's a suffocation within you, you are not able to communicate, you are not able to express, and there's an energy cloud which tells you this is not okay. Very simple thing, you have not learned the art of communication. Communication is a subject that needs to be learned. You have not learned, that's why you are suffocating. And your relationship also is suffocating. Unfortunately, schools and colleges are not teaching this thing. So, when you don't know how to communicate with loving assertiveness, you can develop the energy blockages in your relationships. To that extent of the blockage of the energy, you will experience suffocation. Or you may blast off like a volcano. Volcanic eruptions can happen. Tsunami waves of negativity can take over. All these things happen because we do not know what is loving attention, we do not know what is loving assertiveness, and we don't care to learn about communication. Okay, so what are the corrections necessary? Everybody must learn communication skills, sharpen it, practice loving attention, that is the Prem Dhyan, practice loving assertive communication, and slowly, slowly, we'll start going into resolution of all the conflicts in the relationship while respecting the boundaries of each other. You will become part of the solution, not a part of the problem. That is the outcome of the whole thing. That kind of communication with loving assertiveness is something to be learned. Okay? It doesn't come naturally. Every subject needs to be learned. Now, those who are non-learner type, they never bother to learn. They take everything for granted. Their relationship for sure will suffer. See, for example, any communication has got four components. First is the component of words. Shabd, Shabd Brahma. What words do we select in communication? Very important. Choose the right word. More important than the words is the voice tone, the quality of your voice. How do you deliver those words? Second component, that's called the tone of the communication. Third part of the communication, and every part goes few notches higher. Words are the least important. Tone is far more important. More important than tone is the body language. What is your body language? Your body talks much more than your mouth, than your tongue. Your body language is far more thing about your mental state than your words. So body language is even more important than the tone. Tone is more important than the words. See, when you send an email, person is reading the email. It has only the words. But when you talk on the telephone, on the mobile, not the video call, audio call, then it has got the words, it has got the tone. When you have the video call, then you have the words, you have the voice tone, you have the body language. That's why I tell you to keep your video on. There is a fourth component, which is unknown to the world, which is part of the Prem Bodh, is your energy vibes. Your energy vibes communicate maximum more than your body language. Fifty percent of our communication is vibrational communication, energy communication. 50%. 25% goes to the body language. Okay. 7% goes to the words. 18% goes to the tone. So 7% words, 18% voice tone, 25% body language, 50% vibes. And vibes never lie. What vibes are you giving in a relationship? That is the most important thing. Vibrational communication is part of prembodh. I received all the knowledge through vibration. There were no words, no tone, no body language, nothing. 100% communication was received through vibrations. The vibes are most important. Vibes do not lie. And that vibrational communication is the most important aspect. Now see, in last 10 minutes, I had been talking on communication. You learned few good things. Communication needs minimum 20 sessions of 90 minutes each. That's what I had been teaching earlier days, communication workshops. Minimum 20 sessions of 90 minutes each. Different types of communication. One should learn and become good at communication. Then you will understand how to talk it over and solve the problem or the conflict without blame game, without resentment. See, immature people, they start blaming others. Mature people never blame anybody. There's something to be learned. How do you blame? It's a matter of communication, right? My husband doesn't listen to me. This sentence is called blame game. You are blaming that your husband is not listening. If I ask the husband, he says, I'm listening all the time. and I get headache. Difference of opinion. हिंदी में बताऊं तो असली असली मजा आएगी. सुन सुन के मेरा भेजा पक गया और फिर भी ये बोलती है मैं सुनता नहीं हूं. See how the perception changes. And both are staying together 24/7. ये कोरोना की बात कर रहा हूं. बाहर निकल नहीं रहे घर से. 24 hours together. समझ रहा है? We all passed through those 2 years where we had been 100% together. This is immaturity, blaming. Blame game is part of the smoke. What is the real fire? Yes, I understand. 2 years, 24/7, we had been together, but I want you to discuss this issue. Purely we'll discuss. Tell me what is the case. You discuss and the issue is over. Why do you blame? You understood? These are the lessons in communication. It needs certain amount of emotional maturity, spiritual maturity, clarity of thought, clarity of emotions. You don't throw the tantrum. You don't start blaming each other. You sit down, discuss, and settle. Finish. So, 90 minutes, 20 sessions. I just give you a little hint of it. What is communication? But communication has the power to sort out most of the relationship issues. All right. So, you have to give marks 0 to 10 on the scale of communication. How good you are at communication. Fourth one, equality and reciprocity. Both partners contribute equally to the relationship, ensuring mutual growth and support. Equality and reciprocity. If the relationship has to be maintained or improved. हिंदी में बोलते हैं ताली एक हाथ से नहीं बजती है, दोनों हाथ चाहिए. First of all, both the parties have to contribute to the healthy relationship. I am not interested, you do what you like. This relationship will break down for sure. I am interested, let us do it together. That is the right beginning. Saw the difference? How the perception changes. So both the parties have to contribute to the health of the relationship because it is not any one person's responsibility. Relationship means two. Both have to contribute. Both have to be ready. Both have to have the willingness. But let me tell you, 90% of the time I have seen in couple counseling, wife is having lots of issues which she narrates to me as a counselor because she has lots of issues. Most of the time, initially, the husband doesn't join. You know what is the husband's response? I have no issue. Why should I come to you? Come with you to Guruji. You want counseling? You go for counseling. I have no issue. You have issues. So normally men avoids counseling. What is the fact? The fact is man has no issue. See, man's brain is wired in a very simple manner. Man wants food, good food if wife is cooking, major issue over. Man wants sex. If he is getting sex, problem is over. Men want to see some ball game, cricket match, football match. If his TV is on, that issue is over. Men need to earn money. If he's having a job, that issue is over. So actually, men's brain wiring is very, very simple. Some 4 or 5 points, but nothing more than that. No complications. And man is happy, seriously. Man is really happy. So all that is there. Man's brain is very simple. 4 or 5 items only. Ladies have very complicated brains, very, very complicated. There are so many points inside the lady's brain. Men has got no idea, and that's why women are very, very unhappy. अपना एंगेजमेंट का डेट चला गया, तुमने मेरे को गिफ्ट नहीं दिया। तो बोले एंगेजमेंट का डेट को क्या याद रखने का, मैं तो शादी का डेट भी भूल जाता हूँ, मैं मेरा अपना बर्थ डेट भूल जाता हूँ। मोस्ट ऑफ द मेन डोंट रिमेंबर, बट नॉट इम्पोर्टेंट, यू आर मैरिड नाउ ओनली, यू नो। Engagement anniversary, very few men remember. Seriously speaking, if you ask me, I don't remember my engagement anniversary. Marriage anniversary, yes, I do remember. But you see, these small, small things are wanted by a female brain because female brain is wired differently. Okay. When did you get flowers for me last time? Most of the men say, I don't remember. पूछो अपने आप को, when did you offer a bouquet of flower to someone you love? वो सब शादी के पहले होता है। अब तो शादी हो गई, 5 साल 10 साल हो गए, आप ये कर छोड़। गुरुजी कैसे कैसे क्वेश्चन पूछते हैं फालतू में। मेल ब्रेन से फालतू के क्वेश्चन, फीमेल ब्रेन नो नो वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट, because you show your love, you show your care with flowers, with chocolates, with gifts. Male brain does not understand. So, in one of the sessions, we will understand the male brain, how it is wired, how the female brain is wired, and where is the fundamental conflict man-woman relationship. Few hints I have given you just to understand the topic. You can give yourself the mark. Equality and reciprocity. Both partners contribute equally to the relationship, ensuring mutual growth and support. What does it mean? Last time I gave you the prembodh insights. Every man must learn to respect the divine feminine in every woman. Every woman must learn to respect the divine masculine in every man. If that insight you understand, this issue is sorted out. Prembodh operates from a very high level. If Prembodh insights are understood and practiced, this small thing that I have written will disappear. Naturally, your consciousness will change. Your vibrational frequency will change. Your PVF will change. Your vibes will change. Your communication will change. All your problems will get sorted out if you understand Prembodh. But those who cannot understand Prembodh insights and they don't know how to implement that, then I have to cut it down to the small pieces and tell you exactly what to do, so that everybody can understand at a nut bolt level, at the practical level, down to earth level, how to practice Prembodh. That's very important. So, reciprocate. Understand the male brain is differently wired, the female brain is differently wired. The needs of a female are different, the needs of the male are different. And do you know, as the aging happens in the male brain, and this is scientifically proven, even these 4 5 items which are there in the male brain, cognizance of that also disappears. See, I have seen senior citizens, and I'm not talking about dementia or Alzheimer's. A senior citizen is feeling thirsty. So he goes toward the kitchen to have a glass of water. Wife has made sandwiches. Would you like to have? He will have. So he eats the sandwich and goes. Actually, he has forgotten that he had gone for drinking water. Male brain does not perceive certain things. Let me give you an example. Your handkerchief is lying in the drawer, same place where it is there. But you see some other clothes are also there and you are not able to see. And then you tell your wife, she will come and right in front of you, open and throw you on your face. And the male wonders, oh my God, it was lying there. Why I was not able to perceive? And the male is a postgraduate in computer science. Postgraduate in computer science. Working in multinational IT company. Designing very complex algorithm. Understand computing inside out. Cannot find a handkerchief in the drawer. Common. Many of you can relate to this example. You know why? Mel, don't get disheartened with my examples, okay? None of your problem. It's called manufacturing defect. God gave very few corn cells in the eyes of the male and very high level of corn cells in the eyes of the female. So female can understand the different shades much better. See, if you go with your wife for shopping, she has got a blouse piece and want to buy a sari, or she has got a sari and want to buy a blouse piece. They match. Now pink sari is there. There will be 10 shades of pink. To a male brain, because the corn cells are less, all the 10 shades of the pink will look the same pink only. And the wife will be so particular, this shade is matching, that shade is not matching, and husband will wonder why all this drama. To the husband's male brain, all this is a drama. Why? Sensory perception, manufacturing defect. Getting it? So lots of issues are there between husband and wife because of this sensory perception issues. So what is reciprocity? Understand the male brain. Don't blame the man. It's a manufacturing defect. It's not his fault. Manufacturing defect. So issues will be there. Now, if you practice Prem Dhyan and become little more compassionate, then it's okay. You don't find your handkerchief in the drawer. Your counsels are less. I understand. Yes. Man feels so good. His confidence is shaken up otherwise, you know. MTech in computer engineering, not able to find handkerchief in the drawer, his confidence is shaken up. Genuinely. He feels something is wrong with me. Am I aging? Am I developing dementia? Alzheimer? He start Googling. And Google will give you some wrong information and you will believe you have some brain disease. No. This is not a brain disease. This is absolutely common. Lots of such things are there. You will understand. So have some compassion in the relationship. Don't jump to blame somebody. There are lots of such manufacturing defects. Okay. I will tell you there are thousands such manufacturing defects. Okay. I call male as a Khatara model created by Brahmaji, the creator, and female as a Mercedes model with lots of features and all. And this Khatara and Mercedes, they come together in a marriage. Now what will happen? Okay. Male members don't, I'm not degrading by telling you Khatara. Khatara is very robust, very powerful engine, with very less features, because 4 or 5 features only. Typical Indian second-hand Khatara. And the female model, so many features, and you don't even know. And now you are married, and that's the big issue. We'll discuss about it later. Right now, we have to understand the scale. Very interesting things will be discussed in these sessions, okay? So fourth point is equality and reciprocity Both partners contribute equally to the relationship, ensuring mutual growth and so on. Which means what? No communication of blame game, resentment, and all. Understanding male brain is different, female brain is different, support each other, respect each other. That is the answer to the majority of the questions. Long term, fifth one. Long term sustainable fosters trust, security, and shared goals with purpose. Relationship with a long term approach in mind. Sustainable fosters trust, security, and shared goals with purpose. Trust you understand, security you understand. What is the shared goal with purpose? Every relationship needs some purpose, and the purpose keeps changing with the different stages of life. Once the purpose is defined clearly, the relationship will grow in a proper manner. But if the purpose is lost, the relationship will be lost. So important. Okay. So if you are not having the purpose in the relationship, create the purpose together. Without purpose, the relationship cannot sustain. Purpose is so very important in every relationship. Okay. If you are not sure about it, think it over, write it down, talk it over, mutually decide what is the purpose. See, when you are married, okay, initially enjoyment is the purpose. Then having the child is the purpose. Then child's education becomes the purpose. Then child's marriage becomes the purpose. So child is married and gone away. Now you are two are left. No purpose. Relationship will break down. Create the purpose consciously together. Spiritual evolution can be the purpose. Babaji's mission can be the purpose. Writing the book can be a purpose. Creating a program can be a purpose. Learning new subject can be a purpose. Yet together you have to create a purpose consciously. If there is no purpose, relationship will die at that point. Everybody understood this point? So, how clear you are about the purpose. If you have not written down the purpose, you can write down. Writing down will create a kind of a clarity. Okay, sixth point. Life fulfillment. PIES. Pies means what? Physical, intellectual, emotional, and spiritual. So any relationship will have this minimum four dimension that we talk about. Life fulfillment. Physical level, intellectual level, intellectual compatibility, physical level, physical compatibility, emotional level, emotional compatibility, and spiritual compatibility. So fulfillment will come only when all the four dimensions are addressed in a relationship. See, for example, one person is very intellectual type and one person is a very emotional type. There will be mismatch. So emotional has to grow intellectually and intellectual person has to go into the understanding the emotions and balance the relationship. Everybody has to become spiritually mature. So spiritual dimension cannot be neglected. Physical dimension, physical fitness has to be there. So when all the four dimensions are addressed in a proper manner in a relationship, only then the fulfillment of the relationship will happen. Otherwise, something is missing. That feeling will always be there. So if you don't want that feeling that something is missing, start looking into the minimum four dimensions of your relationship. But at least four dimensions everybody should come. Because otherwise the balancing of the relationship will not happen. If any one dimension is not addressed to, there will be vacuum. There will be darkness in that relationship and proportionately the troubles will be there. All right. So I stop here. We will continue next time. Almost 1 hour is done. So 6 points. Balance 10 points are the same as the scale given to you. Now you have understood how to do the exercise. Okay. 10 points you have already understood or you have discussed. So now with this background, it will become easier for you to understand. I'll look into the questions. Okay. If you have any question, please punch it. So far, whatever we have discussed, I'll answer your question. But today is kind of a breakthrough. Right kind of thinking has started. Okay. If you walk on the same lines, if you start working together on the relationships, what are the priorities? What are the boundaries? Mutual respect. Talk it over. Things will start improving. And then take those 10-point scale. Consider each word as a criteria. And you will see a qualitative change will emerge in your relationship. Things will start improving. The relationship become healthier. Okay. Health of the relationship will improve slowly. And that is the main point. If you learn to give loving attention to yourself, which means you do Prem Dhyan, your consciousness will change. It will shift. The rest of the things become easier for you if your consciousness is shifted. If your consciousness is not shifted, then you have to work at a nut bolt level, learn communication, practice few things. Slowly, things will improve. But if you come from the top, that's called as a commissioner's call. Things move faster. I'll see the questions. Pratyush Tomar, any book or research more information on how male and female brains work differently? Lot of material is there on the internet. Guruma will post it in the chat box. There is a book which talks about it. A lot of work has been happening in this field. Krishna Patel, can relationship improve if only one person willing to change and learn? How to improve case when one person breaks up? There's no relationship with one. No? When you say relationship, it is two. So if both are not contributing, it will not survive. The breakup is natural. See, one person is interested in relationship, other person is simply not interested in. How can the relationship survive? I told you both have to contribute. Both have to be willing to learn. Both have to be willing to come together and improve upon it. If that willingness is not there, relationship will not survive. Okay. The willing partner has to look into the fire and the smoke. Which is the need which is unfulfilled for the person who is non-willing? Start with that. Separate fire from the smoke. See what is missing. Let me give you a hint. Person is feeling very hungry. Okay. And there is not enough food at home or the food is not cooked for whatever reason. Person goes to the hotel, will have the food and come back. And need not even tell at home that he had the food. And all of you understand the response of a human as far as the sex and the food is concerned is the same. So you understood the seriousness of what I'm talking. Food and sex are the basic needs. Okay. What is true for food is true for sex also. Serious questions have come to me, serious counseling we have done so far because someone, okay, is not understanding the basic need of the person. And when person is not understood, that person lets go. That's how the breakup happens. Consistently. Other person not willing to look into the needs, basic needs. Relationship will break down. Okay. So what is the deficit factor? What is the missing factor? Krishna Patel. That has to be looked into. Anuradha asking Guruji, how can I learn Prem Dhyan? There are videos on Prem Dhyan on the YouTube. You can learn. We'll post the link on both the groups. See those videos. Pratyush is saying why men don't listen and women can't read maps. Yes, correct. That is the book. Parag Javle has posted that. That is the very good book. All couples, okay, who are married or who want to get married or who want to get remarried, whatever the case may be, this book is kind of a textbook for understanding male brain and female brain. Shubha is asking, Guruji, how can we improve our effectiveness in understanding energy vibes, especially over video calls? Takes practice. See, for example, earlier I was not doing Akashic records online, but in Corona time it became a necessity. So earlier I believed that Shaktipat cannot happen online. You have to meet personally. See, for example, in the tradition of Kriya Yoga, Kriya Diksha was always given personally. Video Kriya Diksha, online Kriya Dikshas were not even allowed. But since Corona, the things have changed, the technology has changed. So, with some learning, with some high level learning, which is a high PVF learning, it can become possible for everybody to understand the vibes online. I understand. Okay. I have no issue. See, I'm doing very complicated relationship counseling, marriage counseling, sex counseling, Akashic records. That's the most difficult of all. While talking, I scan the aura, I see the chakras of the people, I understand the vibes, I understand the energy, I can see the energy. So I have trained myself by learning. One thing you can take away from today's meeting is learn, learn, and learn. Only learning will improve you. Those people who are not willing to learn, even God cannot help you. You help yourself by learning. How much time are you giving out of 24 hours for learning something valuable? Learning that will change your life. Where is your focus? What are your priorities? Look into that. Everything is possible. All right. So, time is up. Over to Guruma for Shantipat.
Lots of insights about relationships, even though all the examples which were given were about husband wife relationship, but yet the same points are applicable for even if the relationship, any relationship that is not working. If we take these pointers and enter into it, we can find out all the things except for a few, like bedroom and all these things. But all other pointers are equally true. Any relationship, if the purpose is lost, two friends, subordinate boss relationship, if the purpose is lost, if intimacy is lost, if communication is not right, all these things will matter in any relationship. And the last point that Guruji mentioned was learning, learning, and learning. And that learning along with intention. Do I really need to look into my life? Am I happy with myself? Am I happy with whatever is going on around me? If not, I need to look into every aspect of my life. When I start improving, the things around me start changing. So, this learning is not that we are obliging somebody else by learning and trying to change. It's for our own self that the life is transforming and my consciousness is expanding. Every time a conflict comes, A problem comes, consciousness contracts. And do we enjoy with that contracted consciousness? Never. We always want that expansion in life. We always want that freedom in life, that joy. Anything, Ananda Lahari and Saundarya Lahari, only for experiencing the aesthetic beauty of the creation and the joy in the creation, we all have come onto this planet Earth. So to connect to that source of Ananda Lahari and Saundarya Lahari, we need to get into ourselves and connect to the very core, to the very source, from where these expanding vibes are getting radiated. Only then the radiant relationships can be experienced with everyone around. And whoever is with lower frequency will automatically realize that there is something different in this person which I need to learn. So we all have to excel and go to that state with the Master's blessings. We have to become radiant in order to have those radiant relationships. Thanks is a very small word. Gratitude to the Masters for reminding us again and again that look into the quality of your life and let that life be an example of sharing joy and bliss everywhere, wherever we go. We have to go to that state. For that, these prembodh sessions are being conducted. Let this bliss and joy be experienced by everyone in every moment with this sankalpa. We chant Shaktipat and let these radiations go to the whole world and let everyone experience as we all are working towards it. Om Sarvesham Swastirbhavatu Sarvesham Shantirbhavatu सर्वेषां पूर्णं भवतु सर्वेषां मङ्गलं भवतु ॐ सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनो सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत् ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः. Let everyone be in that state of completeness and a state of sarvato bhadra, all auspiciousness. Thank you.